So door nets times 2.
Yeah. Door nets times 2. Yeah.
Now here would be question number 4.
Go for it.
The exhaust shields. I note that it says those aren't available anymore. Where would we even think of getting those?
You know what? I have absolutely no idea. So the guys that used to make this for me, sadly, he had a heart attack and he could no longer roll because they're stainless steel, so they're very, very strong. He can no longer roll. He hasn't got the energy to roll the shields. You have to put it in some sort of wheel, and somebody out there will probably know exactly what I'm talking about and go, hey, yo, I can make those for you. But it's basically it's a 6-inch diameter radius. Well, it's probably going to be a 7-inch radius that goes over a 6-inch muffler. That's the American term, a muffler. And they are Jubilee clips onto the muffler. Now, we could put a carbon fiber muffler on your car, on your order, because I don't know what you've got in the way of exhaust system. You haven't got any
polished. We didn't have the exhaust, but we had the muffler part or the silencer. It was 6-inch polished, I believe.
Yeah, we've taken that off.
Okay.
We had taken that off. Hang on, let me see whether it's on there, and I'll just see what you've got.
First time you had that on there, along with like the clips and whatever that mounts to it, because Dan was going to have to make the exhaust.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you don't have a silencer. You don't have a muffler on there at the moment on your order. So
not that big a deal. Dan would probably know where to get one because it's kind of a hot rod item, but I can't even find it online.
So we can do you a silencer. And once we get so part of us getting the engine in the car, we will then make the exhaust system for you.
Okay.
See, yeah.
So
they're going to have that. They know.
Yeah, we can mock it up and make the jig for the exhaust system. So this is the benefit. This is the other item that Dan will not need to do. He'll just tomorrow we'll just be able to bolt this together.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, that's the theory behind it.
We'll hopefully we'll make it into a working theory.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
But I just had a question on that because I had that in the list. And then the last time I went in, it was like, these are no longer available. And my plan is to, since the car's orange and black, I wanted to put, we had the polish thing on there, you put the black shield on it and it would look good against the black of the car.
So, you would probably be better off going with either a brushed silencer. So the reason why you would go polished is obviously because it looks really nice. But as soon as you get it hot, the polish turns into gold, like a gold color, and it tarnishes. So I've just been running a segment, and you're welcome to cut this out of your thing, but I've just been running a segment on polishing up my pipes.
We've watched them all. So far, the ketchup was the big winner.
Right. Yeah.
So your last one you said was awful.
I've filmed like five different products they use. And I will tell you, Anna does egg me on a little bit behind the camera. So she's kind of egging me on doing some stupid things and saying stupid stuff. So
they're entertaining. I like the videos regardless. So keep them up.
Yeah. So that's what it's about. It's about just being entertaining and having a little bit of fun. So if you go for polished
brushed better. Sounds better.
Yeah. Brushed is better because it's a bit duller and it doesn't tarnish quite so much. Mm-hmm. So I can do a brushed manifold or headers, whatever you want to call it, brushed headers into we can either do a black muffler, which is the carbon one that we do, or we can do a brushed muffler. Cheaper of the two is the brush muffler. The lightweight, more expensive one is the carbon fiber one.
The carbon fiber still gets hot though, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything's going to get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was looking for something just to
probably keep from me burning my leg getting out of said vehicle.
And it will. So lots of people burn their legs on the.
It's kind of like, well, I ride a motorcycle as well. So that took a little bit of getting used to, of making sure of where I put my calves. And again, because they're so short, they would end up in places they didn't need to be. Now, I didn't ride a bike in shorts because that's just stupid. Right. But I think it's the same thing with this, is because this is going to be a warm weather car. He wants to make sure that I don't leave half of my leg on the side of the car.
And the trick is, when you get out of the car, stand on the seat. That's
what I was just going to say. Step on the seat and step out.
Do you have any idea how hard that is for me to put my feet in the seats?
Yes.
It's like the Japanese. I'm watching the Japanese. They won't step on the seat. I'm like, just step on the seat and slide in.
Yeah.
It hurts me.
I get that. But, so obviously you guys have gone for the padded seats that we do. The sort of the fiberglass seats which we put in most of the cars, when you stand on the seat there, it doesn't make a difference. I get it with the padded seat. There is a chassis rail.
I can put a towel on the bottom of the seat and step on the towel.
If you damage the seat, you get it reupholstered. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. And unless you're wearing high heels, if you're in trainers, sports shoes, then you're going to be flat anyway. So the likelihood
I'm never going to be in stilettos inside of that vehicle. There will be no reason.
So no Louboutins are going in that vehicle, right?
No, absolutely not. Not the car for that. So,
although that's where the next thing, and it's another question.
So hold on, spin it back. We haven't made a decision on the manifold and the silencer.
Brushed.
Yeah, do the brushed.
Obviously, I don't have the manifold on my system because this is a brand new engine that we're going to be doing. So, but we will have that. That's fine. I'll put it on.
It's not a manifold.
Headers, whatever.
Sorry, beg your pardon.
Manifold comes from the factory and it looks like crap. It's just whatever it is.
You're right. It's headers. It's headers and a muffler, right?
Headers are custom made that are expanded, and actually a bunch of tubes into one or into two, into one or whatever. Manifolds are just like, and
like what?
And
I make you do those sounds twice.
Silencer, track day silencer.
He said manifold to Dan. He'd be looking in the car going, I don't see one. Oh, you mean the headers?
Well,
Hey, I know what you're talking about. I call it manifold, but it's all good.
It's just the difference, just like trainers versus tennis shoes.
Yeah, we call trainers tennis shoes here.
I thought you were going to call them like pumps or something.
No, that's a
high heel.
Is a small high heel. Stilettos are the very tall ones. Pumps are.
Okay.
Yeah, and so tennis shoes are any kind of flat.
Yeah, or gym shoes.
Trainer gym shoe.
Gym shoes.
So we had when I was a young whippersnapper, we had what was called bumpers, which were like trainers, but trainers were cool, and bumpers were like practical.
Okay, I got you. Now, when you say when you were a young whippersnapper, I guarantee you I'm older than you are. So I'm going to do the thing because you're a guy and technically I can do that. So how old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
27.
Yeah. I was going to say, I guarantee you I'm older than you are.
He's not 27.
Well, because I tell my age all the time. I'm 52.
How many?
I'm 52.
No way.
Yes. Swear to God, I'm born in 1970. You're younger than I am.
I am
younger than me, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 27. Yeah. Wow, can you believe it?
Oh, I don't mind giving my age. It's fine because at this point, I figure if I don't look 52, people are like, oh, you don't look your age, which is great. I don't want to look my age. So at this point, I'll stick with that's my actual age because it is. And when I start looking older, then, I don't want to say I'm younger if you look old.
Oh, I get it.
You'll want to say you're older and you look super young for your age.
Okay. So here we go then.
Neil.
Here we go then. 46.
You're what?
46.
46.
I told you.
Yeah.
52. You whippersnapper.
But I used to be a police officer. I was like, he's like in his low to mid 40s.
He's 56. So
you guys don't look your age. That's what happens. You just you not working, from early morning until late night.
That has a lot to do with it. I do have a very blessed set of genetics in my family. None of the women in my family look their age. So I'm blessed in that part. But now I'll tell you, in my later years, I haven't worked really hard, but I've worked full time since I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
So until I was 27,
96.
I busted my hump, like some hard labor busted my hump. So from 27 to 52, I just had to use my brain.
That's when she met me.
That's when I met him. Yeah.
It got easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, not me. I've
he doesn't know what hard
lived
labor
with my parents till I was 27 years old.
No way.
Because I was in school. When I got out of school, I moved out. But
he doesn't know what hard labor is, Neil. He has absolutely no idea.
I know what hard labor is.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
I've just never done it.
Yeah, that's right. And who's the smart guy here,
Well, he's the brains of the project, and I'm the laborer. This is how this works. He thinks up all the things and gives me the money, and I physically do the deals. So
I worked in construction a little bit. My friends were builders, so I mean, I lift and do all that stuff. But
Thomas, I have to say, you are so lucky. A lot of my customers, they say to me, I've just got to ask the bank if I can do this. The bank of wife, and their wife has to buy into it. Dude, you're so lucky because your wife's like, let's do this. Let's do this.
Keep telling him that because he thinks it's just every day. And I'm like, dude, most women.
It doesn't happen.
No, he doesn't ask permission for anything. He just does. And things come in and I go, okay, fine, whatever. It's got nothing to do with me. But yeah, wanting to build it. Women don't want to do that kind of stuff. So you are so.
That's why I laugh about
lucky.
it. These guys.
You are lucky.
They're all like, oh, I got to check with the wife or the boss, the CEO vetoed it or whatever. I'm
this
like,
bit staying in. Just so people know. So you just keep reminding him, Neil, of how just extremely lucky he is.
He is lucky, man. He's lucky.
I think so, but sometimes he needs to be reminded.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's a great wife.
Thank you.
We'll have to
and a great CEO of the house bank.
No. He actually, what I jokingly tell people, they think I'm kidding. He actually does wear the pants in this family. I run the house. I run all the things in the home.
No, he doesn't. You just think he just wants to actually,
he makes the decisions, but that doesn't mean that I can't turn the head. I can turn the head whichever way I want. So, and I want this vehicle.
It's cool.
I want to play with it. I want to build it. She likes
sports cars. She's not much on bikes, but the cars.
Yeah, I go fast on cars. But look I want the challenge of being able to do this because I love nothing more than for people to underestimate me or tell me I can't do something because it's pretty much a guarantee. So this is something I've never done. And I'm actually excited about being able to physically accomplish something like this, knowing nothing about cars. So I'm really excited.
Well, if you can wield a spanner and a screwdriver.
I can't. What's a spanner?
A wrench.
Oh, a wrench. I can. I know what a wrench is.
Well, a wrench technically is what you have to do plumbing with, right?
That's a crescent wrench.
Different.
Oh, man.
Crescent wrench or pliers.
We have a communication barrier.
We call things different. It's okay. I know what a lot of the tools are. He can ask for things and I can get. So I'm familiar. I can change oil in the Fiat now by myself.
There's a couple of tools that you would need to possibly buy to build the car, which is they're not very expensive tools, but they are more sort of specialist tools. This is a Rivet Gun.
Already have it, and we have an electric one coming.
No, we already have it.
Oh, it's already here. So we have one for the compressor so that we don't have to with our hands. So we have that already.
Okay, so the next one is a Riv Nut Gun.
We have that as
one
well.
of those.
Okay.
You forget you don't forget is we've built the car already and we used to race karts. So we have quite a tool supply.
We have a huge selection.
But these are not like hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of tools that we need to do the car.
No, they're simple. They're actually simple. Riv nuts are not all that it's not that expensive.
No, they're like $20 or something daft. And I'm sure you can buy it from Walmart because you can seem to buy everything.
We buy everything from Amazon. We don't like Walmart.
Yeah. No, I'm down with that.
We like Amazon.
So a Dremel. Do you have a Dremel?
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't know whether that was a US based brand or you guys have heard of one of those, but it's like a small sanding for those people.
It's
out
actually
there
called a
heard of
Dremel
it.
here.
Oh, it is called a Dremel.
It's a
Okay,
brand
so
name.
Yeah, it's a
It's
brand name.
it's a small sanding wheel for the fiberglass.
Yep.
And then we have like a hole cutter for the, you know, like when you put your lights into drywall.
Right.
So in the ceiling lights, there's a cutter that you can get. It's a drill with a serrated edge around the outside in varying sizes.
We have that too.
Well, so
we'll need certain sizes. It just depends on what size.
Yeah, well, you can get a smaller one and then use a Dremel to tease the hole out, right? We're only giving you those particular holes as a kind of an example. So yeah, and they're pretty much the only tools you need.
Yeah.
To build the car. Now, there's some when you get to the wiring stage, depending on what you do with the dashboard, because they're all so very bespoke. Then you need an element of experience with wiring, let's say, but it depends whether you go for our standard, because we're so bespoke. The wiring harness that you have is all incredibly bespoke, and you can just put any switch into it that you like. So there's an element
you've
of
included one of your wiring looms for the electric, so
yeah.
hopefully there's mostly just plug and play.
Yeah.
Well, it is. And there's an element of you've got to put the right terminal in the right hole.
Okay.
But you make it, but we give you documentation on how to patch it all together. But there's an element, because you can choose so many different switches that you want to use or what dashboard you want to use. There's no standard. So that's why it isn't like directly plug and play. Maybe we should do a standard sort of set of dials, and this is what you have as standard, and if you deviate from that, you have to work it out.
That'd be a great idea. I'm just from a girl's point of view, and again,
Sure.
because I want to be, at this point, still looking like I'm going to be the first female to film it, putting it together. I like the idea.
I think you are. I think you are.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. Oops.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Well, we have a pretty good wiring kit in the toolbox too. So
sure. So, but that's pretty much it. I've not rattled off hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of tools. These are pretty stock standard. You can buy on Amazon tools.
Did you get that?
No, that's the next thing.
Okay. So one more thing on the list, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, a few.
This is more or less a question, whatever. It's regarding that passenger footrest. How not necessary, but I mean, it's pretty inexpensive. But my question would be is how, I'll just say necessary, do you think that is to keep the passenger comfortable if you were more than just cruising down the highway?
So what's going to happen is if you brake hard with the harnesses and they're not super duper tight, you probably won't have them super tight, because you'll have them tight, but not like pinned in. You get what's called a submarine effect,
right,
where you sort of slide forward. So with your passenger, if they weren't particularly tall, they might have an element of distance that their feet are from the bulkhead panel. Okay. So look, the footrest that you're talking about is like, I don't know how much it is off the top of my head. It's about $50 or something like that. It's
$32.
It's 4 or 6 bolts that hold it in place, and you bolt it to the floor pan.
Okay.
Being brutally honest with you, if you didn't like it and it didn't work, you can unbolt it and take it out and put maybe a little rubber grommet in or a bit of carpet over the top. It's not going to make any difference.
Sounds like we need it.
Well, that's what my plan was, because I didn't know if we were going to talk to you, but I'm like, it's like $30-something. It's on special, like for 29 pounds. And I was like, we just throw it in there, and if I don't like it, I'd undo it. But for her, I think it would be great. How much, like, say I'm sitting in the passenger seat, would it get in the way?
I don't think it's going to get in the way too much. All it's doing is angling your feet and giving you something that's ergonomic.
Okay.
rather than actually getting in the way.
We need to do that.
Okay. That was the concern is I think for her, for the passenger, if they were whatever shorter, or if they weren't as tall, it would be fine. But I didn't really, I'm like, what's it going to be like if somebody my size, which is 5'11", it's not that tall, gets in? Is it going to be like your knees are up in your chest or something?
No, it's not going to make that much difference to you. It just means that your knees are going to be at slightly more bent angle. That's all.
Is there room to put your feet on either side of it?
No, not really. There's a little bit of room, but you would probably end up putting them on because it's comfortable. It's a bit more comfortable. That's all.
Well,
you'd probably end up. Okay.
That was my only question. Is not so much. I knew it'd be great for her, but if you had someone who was taller than 5'4", would it get in the way? If it doesn't, and it's cheap, so it's not that big of a deal. It's inexpensive.
Sure.
But I figured, we got you on the line. Ask you, you would know.
Yeah, we put those in. We don't tend to put them in our factory built cars. We also have in some of the superbike engine cars, we do obviously our drive is on the other side, but we reduce the footwell by like 8 inches so that we can put a dry sump tank in there. So some of the superbike engines need a dry sump tank. Yeah. And we basically reduce the footwell so that we can then drop the dry sump tank in there. Okay. It's then you don't need this footrest because you've lost 8 inches of leg room basically. Okay. So obviously for what you guys are doing, we wouldn't be doing anything like that. We need all the space we can in the engine bay. But obviously you guys are going to be sitting on the other side of what we are. So you're having a left-hand drive car rather than a traditional right-hand drive car.
Picture a hill climb car, because that's about the driving it'll do.
Right.
So, all right. So that was that one. Then that was the list.
Okay.
The last couple, well, actually, is we got the wind deflectors, or you put that in there, right?
Yes, I've done that. Yeah.
Okay. Scratch that out. Is concerning the stripe package.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys, I know you got the 3-striper. Do you guys do a 2-striper?
No, we don't. We only do a 3-striper.
Now, if I like the 3-striper, but we have a badge that's going on the front of the nose. Do you just cut a hole out like around that, and that still will work?
You can stick the nose badge on the stripe. So put the stripe on and then put the nose badge on the stripe.
And it'll stay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want I don't want like the stripe to be coming up and then
No. So the stripes are a vinylette material. They're called the vinyl stripe kit.
Right.
And the way that you fit these on the car is really strange. It's really weird. It doesn't compute whenever I do it. But you basically get, like your detergent sprays that you have in the house in the kitchen. So you get an empty bottle of that. You put some soapy water in it. Yeah, like what you use for doing the dishes.
Yeah. Dawn.
We call it here in the UK Fairy Liquid, but I'm guessing you've got a different brand.
We just call it dishwashing liquid.
So
Dawn,
dishwasher liquid. If you make a dishwasher liquid and you spray it on the car, so the car isn't painted. The car is gel coat, and we'll come back to that in a sec. But if you spray it on the car where you're going to put your stripe, and it's bubbly and you've got suds, you actually lay the stripe on the wet.
Really?
And what happens is when it dries out, it sticks like a rock. Yeah.
See, I thought that was just them degreasing it and they cleaned it off.
It's really weird. For me, every inch of my inner being, when you're applying an adhesive, you make sure it's a clean, dry. You don't put soapy water on. But the idea is that you put soapy water on it and then you can manipulate it into place.
Right. Okay.
So you manipulate it the way you want it. It's a backing. You peel the backing off, you spray it down, you put it on, and then you peel the topper off. And that then gives you your stripe with the equidistant edges, basically.
And it's one big thing. It's not like you put the big one on then the little ones, right?
No, it's one long piece of material, and then you put an incision in it, Notice I'm using doctor terminology, but yeah, you put an incision in the stripe, and then you do the other one. You put all your bodywork together so that you try and get it nice and straight across the front, and then
Right. Okay.
it's a bit of a pain to do it, but you'll have fun doing it.
Okay. Put that in there then.
What color would you like, sir?
Well, black, but here's where question number 6 comes in. Is we're putting, and this is because I've looked at pictures and I look at your videos, but it's on television, is we have the black car, the orange car with the orange rear fenders.
Correct.
With carbon fiber guards.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think, is how dorky is it going to look if you don't have carbon fiber front fenders? Because in other words, and you put carbon fiber like signals. So, I'm thinking that's going to look kind of dorky. You have carbon fiber, and then you have fiberglass glossy black.
You're probably not going to notice it, but I hear what you're saying. And from what you're saying is, why don't we go carbon fiber front fenders?
That's what I'm thinking. And then the same thing with the stripe, because you do that in a carbon fiber look, correct? We do. Yeah.
I'm
thinking that would probably look, when it's driving, nobody's going to notice, but when it's parked in the parking lot and everybody's getting a drink or going to the bathroom or taking photos, I think it would look better with the carbon fiber, but I actually think it might look dorky without it. But you would know because you see the cars personally up hand.
Yeah. So we've just built an orange car with the carbon stripe on it. That's got carbon front and rear fenders.
Right.
So you're going for the orange rear fenders.
Right.
Now, there is a car that's being built at the moment, which I'm pretty sure has got orange rear fenders and exactly what you're talking about. But he's gone for black front fenders and orange rears with the carbon fiber stone guard on it.
Which is what we're doing. But I don't know
what
about
you're doing. I don't think people are going to notice the carbon stripe, but you've got to be careful you don't put too much carbon on it, and you don't start mixing and matching the carbon, because the carbon stripe has obviously got a weave pattern in it, and we've tried to make sure that it's very similar to the front fenders. It's not exactly the same, but because it's like 30 inches away from the front fenders, it's very difficult to see that they're not exactly. If you put them together very close, you can compare them. But because there's a gap between them, then it's a bit more difficult to sort of eye it up and go, that's not exactly the same weave pattern, or the thickness of the weave is slightly different.
Do you think that the non-carbon stripe would look good even if you had carbon fenders?
Yes, I do. Okay. Because I've just built a car like that.
Okay.
However, so we've just built an orange car with black fenders all round. I'm just going to grab a picture of it, and there'll be another email coming to you so you can see this particular car. And the purposes of the people who are watching the film, they can't see what you guys are looking at, so we need to blow that one up.
Yeah, let me blow that up real quick. And we'll share that real fast.
See, I forgot we were filming.
See, he's already forgotten we're filming. I never forget. I know we're filming. So this is where he's talking about that the Prince doesn't like the solid black back here. Ours is going to be orange, and then there's going to be a little space here, which is like a rock guard that will be carbon fiber, and then this will be solid black.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine whether or not we ought to do carbon fiber fronts to match that part that goes back there.
I don't care either way. I don't think it's going to look stupid.
I leave that depending. The cost isn't too much different from what I've seen.
It's like another $100 maybe, marginal difference.
I'm okay with it either way. Not that matters, because again, he'll act like it does. It doesn't.
Well, I leave that. I kind of leave it up to you. If it doesn't look dorky, I'm fine with the fiberglass. But if you think that like having the carbon fiber stone guard on the back, not to mention the carbon fiber signals.
So the carbon fiber signals are so small you won't actually recognize them. Look, I tell you what, let's go carbon stripe and carbon front fenders.
Okay. You think the stripe will
well, you just
won't
saw a
be too
picture. Did you see a picture of the carbon stripe and the carbon
Yes.
front fenders
Yes.
on an orange car?
that was a black stripe. It wasn't
As a black stripe.
Oh, it was a black stripe. Yeah, it was.
I haven't taken a picture of it yet. Oh, shoot. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Here we go.
Wonderful.
Here is, it's lucky you like orange.
Right. Well, I actually picked the orange.
I was going for yellow.
Yeah, but we already have a yellow and black car. So I said one was enough. And technically we have a green car, so I didn't want to do green.
Okay.
Yeah, the three choices were the yellow, the Kawasaki green, or the orange.
We have, while that's coming over, we have a color chart of 12 different colors. The panels don't require painting. You can paint them, but you don't need to. They're what's called gel coat, which is basically an impregnated color
I
at
like
the point
that
of
better.
manufacture. Yeah, they're not metallic colors. They're pastel colors, but they are. It's a cheap for the end user. You don't have to have
I'll be honest with you.
$2,000 worth of paint on the car.
Right now, the non-metallic colors are very big in the US. Like
Right,
the
the
grays
pastel
and the
colours.
putties that have no metal flake in them at all. They are just straight opaque color. They are
Sure.
very popular in the US right now.
Right. Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
It's also, I don't think most people realize it's what most boats around here come in. They're gel coated.
They are. They're boats because it's the same process. So our panels, our body panels, are manufactured in the same process as you would make a boat.
There you go. All right, so everybody can see that. Carbon fiber, carbon fiber.
Yeah.
You got to get in pretty hard to see that carbon fiber, but there
Yeah.
you go. So this is going to be a little more matte versus the black one being a little more gloss.
Yeah. Which
Now-
I kind of like against the glossy orange, because even though he says it's not glossy, when you put the marine coat on it, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but the stuff that people should be putting on their gel coat boats is so strong. Well, no, they put it on their boats to keep them from getting nicks and dents when they're pulling the boat in. Well, you put the same thing on this, and it makes ceramic coat look like nothing.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sure we're going to do that, and we'll add that in and send you that
inexpensive.
video.
It's
So
super inexpensive. You go down to the boat dealer and you buy a bottle of it, and it's, you spray it on. You don't have to spray much and just wipe it off, and it's on there.
Right.
okay,
So-
well, I'm okay with the carbon fiber stripe, and this is carbon fiber all the way around.
Yeah.
This is carbon fenders all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, the black rear fenders are very popular here, but also the body coloured rear fenders with the stone guard. So body coloured rear fenders, no, but you have to put a stone guard with them, which is what you guys have already done.
Right. So you want to do the carbon fiber all the way around then? I mean, not the back ones, but
what's the difference in the price on the stripe? That is
I will tell
just
you.
roughly.
Coming. Here we go.
He's looking.
It is a whopping, it's £30 or about $40.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. On
so
the stripe.
we'll do it.
Now I also note on the front fenders, you list having like a show car version and a race car version. I call it.
So we only actually make one now, and that's the show car version.
Okay. Because those were considerably more money than than the fiberglass ones. But you say about $100 or 100 pounds.
Yeah. So the fiberglass, I'll tell you exactly how much they are at the point of recording this film.
Okay.
So the fiberglass ones are 115 pounds sterling.
Okay.
And the carbon ones are 230. So they're 229. Oh, so they're twice the price. It's another 115 bucks.
So
115 pounds sterling.
More than 245 versus 100.
That'll be about 130.
So $100. Do it.
Okay, so
$100 is nothing. $100 is nothing.
carbon fiber for the front then.
And the stripe.
And the stripe.
And the stripe. Okay.
Okay, checks to munch yourselves for just a second. I got to go feed the baby.
So remove those.
Now we do want the rear being orange fiberglass.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, with the fiber or with the carbon mud gun.
Yeah, we've got that. I think.
Okay.
Just bear with me and I'll have a look. Hold on, I'm just adding that.
But yeah, once we go down to the boat shop and find out what the stuff is, we'll email you what it is.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. They say it's super strong coating.
Yeah, we have the stone guards in already.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's already on your order.
Right.
I think.
Should be.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm not looking at it. I'm just going off the top of my head, but I remember.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just going to make sure that it's not on, so I don't want to double charge. Yeah, no, that's on there. That's on there already. That's fine. That's all good. Whew.
All right. I think last question that we had was concerning the pedal box. Now we have the billet pedal box.
You do.
I was watching the Parrot Brothers and they were talking about having you guys put it in. How much would it cost for you guys, or do you even offer that to put the pedal box in? Oh, where'd you go?
Oh,
okay.
You cut out. Sorry.
There we go. We're back.
So to fit the pedal box, we have a brake and a fuel line fitting service. So the fuel line fitting service is £99 per fuel line.
Right.
And the brake pipe fitting service is £149, which will fit the pedal box. Now,
so does it come with the brake line? Okay,
yeah.
So you already did it then, because we've
already done it.
Put that in.
Yeah, you guys are already having that fitted.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that included it. I was unclear, but if not, if it wasn't much, I'd say just do it, because it makes no sense to be like I watched them doing the
yeah.
It wasn't the floor pans, it was something else.
They did the brake and fuel lines. They did the brake
and
and
I was like, geez, guys, they said they spent 8 hours doing it. Oh.
This is my newest Foster. He's not quite 2 weeks old.
Oh, look.
He's just itty teeny tiny bitty. Yeah, little milk mustache. I know. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I got to feed him about every 3 hours right now. So
yeah, got it.
That's what
That's cool.
But I was like, for $100 and something, and they're saying it took us 8 hours. I'm like, these guys, they're charging $100 because it probably takes them an hour or something, because they do it all the time.
Yeah, we've got all the lines. We make up all the lines on the bench first, and it takes about an hour to make up the lines, and then you just put them in the car and drill them in. It's just so much easier. I mean, the guys have done it. They do it in their sleep. So
yeah. Exactly what I said. They could probably do it with their eyes closed. So
a lot of the time that it costs them in doing theirs was the tool that they're using. So they've got a tool where you put it in and you clamp it down and then you wind a nut in at the end. And that takes time to do that.
Yeah.
Our one, you just grab it and you squeeze another trigger and it does it all for you, I think.
Yeah.
Our one was quite expensive, whereas theirs was like $15 or something.
Yeah.
But it's good to watch them. At least you know what they're up to and what they're doing. So it's quite informative.
Well, it's entertaining. I didn't think, I said, oh, they're going to rivet this on. Watch, they're going to break out a hand rivet. And they did. And I'm like, oh, I was right. And then the other brother comes out with the pneumatic. And I was like, okay. Shoot, I was like, you guys.
You could not pull them hand rivets. With a hand riveter, you can't pull them sealed rivets up. But a top tip that they missed on their video was make sure that you don't need to do this, but make sure that you dry fit the floor pans, because they're drilled by hand, so they may be specific for each side. Right. And I wouldn't want you to go up the wrong side and get it upside down on the wrong side.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Ask me how I know.
Oh. Yeah.
They also put the adhesive over the holes.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's fine.
But they didn't have enough rivets, which means that when they let it dry, they come back, they actually have to get through the holes.
Yeah, that's not going to work. But you can just buzz a 5mm drill down through it.
But it's just extra work. Yes,
it is. It is.
Yeah, I don't want to do extra work. I work.
So at the moment, Thomas, we haven't got the fuel line fitting on here because we don't know how the fuel line is going to be routed for that engine. But what we'll do is we will fit brake and fuel at the same time.
Okay. We left that off because Dan said, well, we don't know exactly how the motor's going in, but we'll do the fuel line once it's in. It's no big deal. So that's why we didn't put it in there.
That's right. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll put that back in.
Okay.
Because we will be at a point where
you'll know where it goes.
We will know where it goes. Yeah.
Right now.
Okay. I don't think we would have built a car, but then we don't need to build the rest of the car to be able to know. We just need to prove the concept of getting the engine in there with the left-hand drive steering rack and the manifold the headers clearing the steering rack. So you've got an element.
Well, my hope is once we get this done and we get this out, that maybe, US will pick up. US business will pick up because they'll see it. And
US business has already picked up.
Is it? Okay. Well, good. It's good. Let's make it pick up more.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, look, it's a big place out there. It's much bigger than little old UK, this little island that we're on here.
Yeah, we're about 4,000 miles one end to the other. You take long
30
ways.
something hundred, but you figure the UK is about the size of a medium-sized state.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like this smaller than Florida or whatever, right?
Wow.
Well, Florida's pretty big. It's about the size of New York, which is not a small state, but it's not big. It's the same size as New England, which is like 6 of our smallest states. So it's pretty small.
There you go. There you go. All right. Big. So that was it. So we've got everything on our list that we need to do on your end. So we're good to go.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I've got all the bits and pieces that you want adding.
Okay.
The only thing that I haven't got that I've noticed is a radiator. And that is because we don't know where the outlets are going to be yet.
Right.
Okay.
So
we'll have to do that later.
We left that off too. Yeah.
We left that off deliberately.
Because we didn't know where the outlets needed to go.
Yeah, exactly. So when we get the engine and we work that out, then I will put another order in to cover the bits for the radiator and the hoses and things like that. So that's fine. That works.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good since this guy just deciding to chew my face off right now. Hi, baby. You're very cute. Okay. So I know this was a long video for you guys because it's longer than I normally do, but I hope that you found it informative. And, their link is always in the description bar down below. So if you have any questions, you want to check them out, go down to that bottom link below and go to the MK Motorsports. Neil's always there to help out at any time. If you haven't subscribed to their channel, do that as well, because they've got a lot of really cool videos and they come out quite frequently. But I think that's going to do it for the update on the Super 7. And you guys know the rules. You just stay out of trouble now, but if you can't, don't get caught. Till then, y'all stay safe, stay clean, and have a perfect day. Love you. Bye.